This lesson will explain about the asset under construction process. An asset under construction is a temporary or dummy asset which can be used to gather costs prior to transferring or settling those costs to the final asset. When the final asset is ready, the final invoices are received and the asset is brought into use. Assets under construction can also be used for the full investment management process, using internal orders and WBS elements to plan and budget for capital expenditure, but this is outside the scope of this training course. An asset under construction is created in an almost identical way to an asset, but using a specific asset class for assets under construction. The asset under construction class will usually have a default depreciation key that does not allow depreciation, and will probably post outside the normal range of GL accounts for assets, so that it can be accounted for separately in the general ledger. The same processes can be used to post values to the asset under construction, for example purchase requisition, purchase order, valuated and non-valuated goods receipts, and vendor invoices. In each case, the asset under construction number is entered in the same place as you would enter an ordinary asset number. Once you're ready to transfer the asset under construction to the final asset, you need to create distribution rules to tell the system which assets to transfer to and how much to transfer to each asset. The app to do this is define distribution rules, and the GUI transaction is AIAB. The process of transferring the assets is known as settlement in SAP. Once you've entered the company code and asset number, you press execute, and the system collects together all the postings that have been made to the asset under construction. Often there's not a one-to-one relationship, so you may have a number of invoices that are spread amongst a number of final assets, and you do not have to settle all of them at the same time. So the settlement AUC line item lists allow you to select the items you want to settle by selecting each item using the box on the left of each line and pressing enter to go to the next screen. If you have more than one ledger, you'll see a separate line for each ledger, as you can transfer each ledger differently. For example, an asset may be capitalised in one ledger but expensed for another. In the first column, you'd normally choose FXA for fixed asset. There are other options available, such as cost centre. If you're settling everything to one asset, 100% will default automatically. But if settling to more than one asset, you can use percentages, actual amounts, or equivalence numbers. An equivalence number is just a shortcut to entering something like the full amount. For example, if you wanted to put 1,000 on one asset and 5,000 on another, you could just enter 1 and 5 or 10 and 50. But if more complicated, then the exact amount can be entered. When ready, return to the previous screen and save. When you're ready to run the settlement, you can either enter the app from the menu or select the shortcut settlement button at the top of the menu.